Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of Shaping Arrows, where we offer encouragement and quick how-tos each week for parents to make disciples in your home. My name is Brant. I'm over our family ministries here at Mercy Hill. And whether you're a new parent, and maybe this is your kind of first rodeo, or maybe you have been a parent for a long time, maybe your kids are getting ready to graduate, I want to encourage you to tune in each week because parenting is never perfect. But there is progress to be made. We can make progress. We can grow in these things. And so I want to encourage you each week, tune in. We're going to be talking about different topics that are going on in the lives of parents. I actually encourage you in the comments below, share with us the things that you want to talk about. We want to talk about what is most helpful, most encouraging to you. We're going to bring in different teachers, different leaders each week to talk about these various subjects. Again, just a quick how-to for how do we make disciples in our home every single week. I wanted to offer you a little bit of encouragement this week as we get started with our series, as we jump into the Word. But before we do, wanted to share with you just a little bit, a small art project that my kids have done. Maybe you've been doing a lot of different stuff during quarantine with your family. My kids have really got into the crafts and the arts. And so I wanted to share with you my 5-year-old son, Cooper. He put this together. This is a circus. So you can probably see that you've got like the tent here, the people inside, and he did a really good job with it. And then we've got my daughter. She did her artwork. She's 3.5, and this was what she put together. It's a bit of an abstract, I would say, but when I asked her, after I spent a little while trying to figure it out, I asked her what it was, and she said it was the walls of Jericho, which when you think about it, kind of makes sense. So it's some interesting projects that we've been doing. Maybe you've been doing projects at your house during this season as well. I want to jump into the Word with you just for a minute and share with you what God says here in Psalm 127, as this is really the bedrock for what this series is all about. It says, "Sons are indeed a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward," in verse 3. And in verse 4, it says, "Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are the sons born in one's youth. Happy is the man who has filled his quiver with them." So as we think about that, we think about what kids are for. Kids are not just for our blessing. They're not just for our delight, though they are a delight often. But they actually have a greater purpose. God has a purpose for every one of our kids. And is that He equates them to arrows. Arrows have a purpose. Arrows have a plan. They have a destination, and that is to pierce the heart of the enemy. God has you and your kids here that you would pierce the heart, and that they would pierce the heart of the enemy, that they would take the gospel all around the world, that many people would trust in Jesus because of the gospel proclaimed by your children. There is a great purpose. There is a great calling in that. I know maybe some of you hear that and you're like, man, like that's a big calling. Like my big goal was to like get my kid potty trained. Or my big goal is to keep my teenager from eating all of the food out of the pantry that I paid for. Maybe that's your goal as your parent, and you're sitting here like, I have no idea what that actually means to shape arrows and to send them out into the heart of the enemy. I'm just trying to make it. Well, I want to encourage you as a parent that God has given us this calling, but we are not on our own in this. In fact, in Psalm 127:1, it says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, the laborers labor in vain." And I want to encourage you as a parent to trust in the Lord. It is God working. It is God working in the lives of your kids. It is not only you. And so I want to encourage you something Paul Tripp wrote in his book, Parenting. I recommend it highly to you. He said this: "God never calls you to a task without giving you what you need to do it. He never sends you without going with you." Parents, what an encouragement today to know that even on your worst day, even when you miss it as a parent, God is with you and God is working through you. That God can take your mistakes and He can pour grace upon grace upon grace and use every single thing in the life of your child that they would grow into the image of Christ. I want to encourage you as a parent to lean into what God is doing and the purposes that He has for your child. To trust in His grace when we fail. and to continue to pour into your kids, to continue to shape your arrows. It is a lofty calling, but it is not a calling that we are alone in. It is not a lonely one. We have God with us, and He is working through us, and He has a greater plan. And believe it or not, God loves your kids more than you do. And He will do a great work through your parenting, even in all of its failures, because His grace is enough. I hope that's an encouragement to you today, parents. Again, I encourage you, and I would ask you to comment below. Share this with others that you believe could benefit from these teachings. Share this. And then comment below the topics that you're interested in talking about, the things that you want advice about. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring people in each week to talk about the things that are relevant to you, that are helpful to you. Again, here on Shaping Arrows. We hope to see you next time. Thanks.